Welcome back. Happy New Year, everyone.
It is the new year.
That's why I said this was supposed to be... You playing with me, bro. This was supposed to be a drunk episode. You didn't even tell me you were drinking. Why didn't you give me a heads up?
The best beer.
Oh, there's only 3 left though, huh? 2 now.
2 now.
Why didn't you give me a heads up? I would have ran to the store, dude.
Cheers. Happy New Year. Take a
Cheers,
sip.
me and my coffee.
Should I pour some out for y'all?
They're alive. What are you pouring out for them for?
It's been a good year.
When does this come out? Like what day of the week? It's after the 1st, right? Oh, it's on the 1st.
It's on the 1st.
Happy New Year for real.
It's been a really good year.
Has it?
And let's reflect a bit.
Okay, what do you want to reflect upon?
Well, what has happened the past year?
Start at the beginning of the year.
Well, I do have one accomplishment that I've accomplished that I feel like I never thought I would be here.
She got lip injections.
No, not that. But I'm about to get another half, so...
They know. They freaking know.
Yeah, but that's a whole separate thing. No. I feel like this year, in terms of, like, doing things and, like, checking things off, a bucket list type situation.
Bucket list?
Yeah.
You have a bucket list?
No.
No, me either.
No. But... I feel like we didn't really do that much of anything new that we haven't done before. Like, yeah, we traveled. I turned 25. That's a big year.
Is it, though?
Mm-hmm. And that was my roundup year.
What do you mean?
Round up to 30.
No, you're 25.
But it's still my roundup year. Like, you would round up to 30, and that's crazy because I always prided myself on being, well, I'm round down and you're round up, da-da-da-da.
You're mid-20s,
we're
I'm late
both
20s.
round up.
You're mid, I'm late.
Yeah. So... I'm still up there, but
yeah. So what's your bucket list or like?
I feel like this year I have become more content with where I'm at in life. I guess like when we were home, Dylan's friend Dane asked me like, "What's one thing that you want to do next year?" Or like I forget exactly what he said, but like basically, what's one thing that I want to do to like better my life for next year, basically. And I was like thinking, and like it's the first time I feel like I can finally say like. I'm pretty happy where I'm at and like I'm not striving to do more. Like I've always wanted to like move around and like I don't know, do I want to live in California? Do I want to live in Denver? Do I want to live somewhere else? Like I've always feel like I've been longing to find that next step, and I feel like this last year I haven't really been wanting that. I think partially because we went to Arizona and that was just such a
it was hectic to say the least.
But it was just like a whole different experience than like what I thought it was going to be. Like I thought it was going to be like eye-opening and like life-changing and like this is where I want to be. Like I always thought like maybe I want to live in Arizona. Everyone talks so highly about it. And I'm not going to say it's not pretty because it is.
We were also peak worst time. But like everyone kept saying, I'm like, it'll be fine.
I think being there made me appreciate more of like where I'm at and like
I feel like that's been a common theme. Like, the more we travel, the more that we're like, damn, I really like Denver a lot.
Yeah. So I'm like, I've never been able to say, like, I'm 100% happy with where I'm at in life. My job, I have, like, my job fulfills me. Like, I like where I'm at. I like what I'm doing. I like being a traveler.
Your job fulfills you, actually?
Yeah. Like, it does because, like, when you're there, like...
No, I'm not, like, saying it in a negative way.
I mean, yeah.
I think it's just very rare for people to be fulfilled.
Is it what I want to be doing? No. I mean, but... I just feel like when I'm at work, I'm fine. It's like more so going to work than anything.
That's more so to just be with the fact that you have to do something. Yeah.
But like once I'm there and like the impact that people like, you know, they're always like, oh my gosh, you're coming back tonight. You're going to be my nurse tonight. Like, you know, I'm so excited to see you tonight. And just like the little things that like I do for people that go like a really long way. Like, people who've been in the hospital for months now and I'm like taking time to like brush their hair after it not being combed for like 2 months. And like, you know what I mean? Like, the little things like that I do for people that really... I don't know, like it's a job where I'm not, like I don't feel like I'm just going to work and working for the man and like clocking in and fucking building some shit or like, you know, doing some shit and then leaving. Like me. I'm truly going to work and like I can clearly see the impact I have on people because of the things they tell me and like how strong they get and just like, you know, I fix people's problems and, you know, it feels good. Now, Is it what I want to do for the rest of my life? That's a whole separate situation. But for right now, with what I'm doing and where I'm at right now, my job that I'm at right now has been like my favorite assignment that I've had since traveling. And I'm just happy. Like, I'm really happy where I'm at. I feel like, I don't know, like, for those of you guys that didn't know, like, I used to smoke a lot of weed. I have never talked about this before.
I can't believe you are talking about it.
No, this is, like, something that I've never talked about, and, like, I'm not proud of it because, like, nursing, everyone thinks nurses are supposed to be, like, these, like, oh, my God.
It's also weed's demonized to a level
you're
I
not
don't
supposed
believe
to
it
be
should
doing
be.
this and that, and, like, you're a nurse, and da-da-da-da-da. And while I say, yeah, should I have been smoking as much as I was? No. But I have cut that out.
Doctors smoke cigarettes and stuff. So like,
I mean, everyone does something. Like, regardless. I mean, I've known nurses who are stealing drug sheets of oxycodone.
It ain't like you were ever going to work high.
Right. That are coming in high as fuck. And, like, you can just tell that they're high. Like, oh, I need to go pop my pain medicine right now. And, like, people have things going on. But I've never gone to work high. I would never do that. No. But the fact of the matter is, I did like to smoke weed. And that was a big chunk of my life. Like, even before nursing school, it was something that I've always done for a really long time. And I stopped it, like, cold turkey. We went to Arizona, and I was just
honestly, if we weren't smoking, I don't know if me and you would have ever really got together.
That was a huge thing, like, that me and Dylan bonded on, was, like, us hanging out and smoking and, like, whatever. But I haven't smoked for a really long time now. Like, honestly, it's been the longest I've ever gone without smoking since I started smoking, which was, like, freshman year of high school. And I really have, like, I don't know. I just feel really good.
I think that for a long time, you didn't realize that it was altering you as a person. And so I think you used it as a crutch where I can't do this because I can't smoke weed, or I can't do this because I'm not high.
And, like, yeah, it was not great. And, like,
because I never had that issue with weed.
I had so many problems when I was smoking. Like, my stomach would hurt all the time. Yeah. I would have, like, constant diarrhea, like, so many things.
Okay.
No, seriously, though, so many things that were going on with me that I was, like, thinking that it's because, I don't know. But anyways, I haven't done it. I don't plan on doing it again. I'm, like, done. Like, I always thought I would smoke for the rest of my life. And I'm not going to say that maybe one day I won't take a hit or two if I'm at a party, or I'm, like,
smoking here and there. Just casually,
but if you're doing it, like, once or twice, 3 times a year versus doing it every day, that's a huge difference.
Multiple times a day?
Yeah, it's definitely something that
Guys, she's underselling the
well, I don't want to really put it out there. I mean, I'm putting it out there, but it was a problem, okay? It was a problem, and it's not a problem anymore. I haven't done it in a really long fucking time, and it feels really good because I feel like myself again. Like, I feel like I was so numb, and, so, like, for example, when me and Dylan lived in Columbus before we moved out here, I would journal. I was going through a really tough time, like, mentally. I don't know.
She never told me this, by the way.
I don't know what was going on.
Before, like, recently.
No, like, I would, like, journal. And, like, I was having a lot of thoughts. And, like, I knew, like, I needed to stop smoking. And I needed to change my life around because it was making everything worse. But I just, like, wasn't strong enough to just stop. So I would journal thinking that, like, maybe, I just need to let my feelings out. And, like, I looked at my journal, like, maybe a month or 2, 3 months ago, I don't know, a while ago, and to see about how much depressing shit I would write in my journal, and, like, how, like, I feel so numb, and I'm just not happy, like, I don't know what I want to do with myself, and I just feel like shit, basically. And now I'm like, I don't have those feelings at all anymore. Like, I don't know. Do you
think that you were addicted? Because people say weed's not addicting.
But it's 100% addicting.
I don't believe that. Do you think you were addicted?
I think it's addicting in the simple fact of, like, when you don't smoke, you can't eat. When you don't smoke, you can't sleep. And no, like, obviously you can stop, but you go through withdrawal.
You can, like, stop
anything. Yeah, you can, but it's not going to kill you to stop. Like, you don't need to check yourself in somewhere to stop. Like, some places, some vices, like alcohol and, like, hard narcotics, like, you do need to go to a place because you really need to be doing it in a safe way where you taper yourself down and you have meds on board, because, like, alcohol withdrawal is, like, the one withdrawal that can really fucking kill you.
That's crazy. The most legal and socially accepted one
is by far the most dangerous one. By far. But it's not something that you need to, like, go to a rehab center to check in. No. But it's very easy to make excuses as to why you just need to keep going, why you don't want to stop. Like, for me, I'm like, well, I've had stomach problems. And my stomach problems.
You had so many excuses.
I've had them. I've had issues with my stomach, but I think it was more so related to stress because I was bullied. and I didn't want to go to school, and I think it was more like stress-induced nausea, and I still get that sometimes in like social settings, but this was a whole separate thing.
Do you dread social settings as much now?
I don't love them, but no. Like, I'm fine in them. Like, I don't feel like how I don't make myself literally physically sick over them.
You used to be so weird, like to the point where you had to be high to go to them.
And I would be sick. I make myself, and it's horrible. Like, it was just horrible.
Every time you drank, you'd be sick.
But I think it's something that is not 100% addicting, but you do have withdrawal. Like, I 100% went through, and it's mood swings.
I was just asking if you thought you were addicted.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, yeah. Because
I was going to say, I believe you were addicted.
Yeah.
As much as you did it, I think you were
addicted. No one knows that about me. And everyone's like, oh my God, I didn't think you was. Because I mask it well, and it's not something that I just let. I'm not going to say, I'm not trying to put this, you would never see me posting me smoking on anything. No. Like, I don't find that to be cool. Like, I think it's something that you want to do cool. But for me, like, and what I do for work, like.
Yeah, it's just, you'd be dumb to put it out
there. I can't do that. And any drug test I've ever had to take, I've gotten clean for, and like besides one, and that was really the eye-opening experience for me, but that's a whole separate thing. I'm not going to really talk about much, but yeah, so I think that has 100% made my life so much better, and like I'm looking forward to this Costa Rica trip. This is our first trip where we are going on, like for
We're
real,
going this week, guys.
Like we leave for Costa Rica, like next time you hear this, when you hear this, we'll be in Costa Rica.
No, not when they hear this.
Oh, no,
the next one, though.
Yeah, you won't.
Because we'll have to record one for you guys.
Yeah, and 2 more will be there. But this is the first trip I've taken where I am not, like, fiending or withdrawing. Because, like, when we went to Cancun, like, I was going through it. And,
Bad.
like, it's a problem, and I don't want to have it. And, like, if you're someone who smokes a lot of weed and you're feeling the way I feel or feel the way I felt, like, I'm telling you,
the cruise you were tripping.
I'm telling you right now,
every trip like this where we flew,
it's terrible. And like, I don't know. Just I'm telling you, if you struggle with this, stopping. I'm telling you, like you might think like it's not a problem, or if stopping is even worse, it's not. Like smoking makes you depressed. For me, at least, it makes you depressed. It makes you sad. It makes you lazy.
Yeah, I think it's case by case because. Like I was gonna say,
but long-term use.
I'm not saying that like I didn't smoke a lot because I also did, but I didn't have any of those effects. I had none of them, and that's why I think it affects everyone differently. It's just like any vice that you do.
Well, if you're feeling down and out about yourself, and you think, damn, you think it might be related to the fact that you are doing some sort of, whether it's alcohol, whether it's heroin, whether it's meth, whether it's weed
or meth,
it doesn't matter.
You think we have heroin addicts or meth heads listening to this?
I don't know. We might, and if we do,
if you do, shoot me a DM. I'm
if
curious.
you do, I'm not judging you. We don't judge. Like for me.
What do you mean we don't judge?
I don't. If you do drugs though, I don't.
Oh, I thought you meant in general. I'm like everyone judges.
If you do drugs though, it's not. I'm not gonna be like, haha, shame. I am gonna say though,
I know your name.
If you feel some type of way about it, you do need to make the change because I'm telling you.
But that's also very. It's easier said than done.
It 100% is.
Because now we're just going to get into that. We're just going to get into a deeper conversation here. Because now I'm going to have this conversation. So I think that it's because we're talking about everything now, like right.
All vices. Some of them are harder than others to come off of 100%. But anything, and you can get off of anything you want. Like it's 100% doable. You just have to be willing.
My thing is like not everyone wants to come all the way off of them. Like some people,
and that's fine. Even if you want to cut back a bit, like whatever you want to do, whether you want to come off, whether you don't want to come off, whether you want to cut back, it doesn't matter. If I'm simply saying, if you are wanting a change, or you feel bad about the choices you're making, or you feel like it's for me, it made me depressed, it made me sad, it made me feel like just like shit, like overall like shit.
Every single time you did it.
It's just a combination of the days.
So this is why I think it's different than other things.
I can't pinpoint day by day, but I can pinpoint a chunk of my life where
so this
I was feeling numb.
This is what I was going to say. This is why I think that it's different than other things. So for me, I don't think it's any secret alcohol is like my thing. Like that is like the one that I don't like to say that this term, but like I struggle with. I do struggle with it. And for me, 100%. Like that is a very like there are days where I'm fine. Like that is very case by like day by day type thing. Like one day I could be fine, the next day I could do something where it's like what the fuck.
Well, yeah, but you're not drinking every single day.
I know
it would clump all together. Like I can't pinpoint. I can't. It was a big chunk of my life.
I'm speaking personally now, like, about me, like, because there is times where, like, I do things and I'm like, whoa, maybe I don't need to be doing this at all. But then there's other times like, oh, I'm fine, I had a handle on this. But then it's like, there's another time where it's like, holy fuck, dude.
I mean, yeah, I think it's something that you struggle with, but I think it's something that you're growing from and you're learning and you've come a long way. And I think for you,
I agree, but there's still times
it's not like, it's more so
where I think
for
about
you,
coming off altogether.
It's really just for you, it's about pacing. And that's the thing, because you are just a drinker in general.
I know, like, that's what I was going to say. That's my biggest struggle.
Not just alcohol. Like, you can get a milkshake and you can have it gone by the time we get home. And for me, that milkshake won't get finished.
For me, it's not even like the fact that, like, I want to drink that fast. It's like, I don't know where I got this from, but it's like, if something's open in front of me, if there's a drink open, it's gone. Like,
but you're
you're like a drink a half of something and save it for later. I can't do that. I could never do that. There's no way.
I don't know. I don't really know what it is, but what I do know is that it's anything that it's not alcohol, it's anything that's put in front of you, even if it's fucking food or junk food. Like, you've gotten better, but like the old Dylan would finish everything to the point where he'd be sick.
Well, yeah, that was a different problem.
I'm not that way, though.
This is specifically alcohol related to me. I know you're not that way. This was specifically me talking about alcohol.
Yeah, I think it's more so pacing yourself. And I think really it's more so when you drink, you need to like have moments where you're checking in with yourself. Like,
yeah, but the thing is, like, you check on yourself and it's already too late.
I know.
Like, I'll check on myself and I'm like,
but after but when you feel like that, that's when you got to say, okay, I've had enough. It's not, well, let me just push it to the limit because I'm already here. That's your mentality.
Once I'm in it, there's no backing
It's all or nothing. And that's the problem, because you go on these long stints of where you just don't drink. You don't drink. And that's great.
I guess I did.
That's great, especially if you're trying to find a fitness goal, because alcohol is a really big, it's going to definitely pull you back a bit.
Yeah, I don't care what anyone says. Like, a couple drinks a week is still setting you back.
It is bad, but that's not your problem. Your problem isn't the fact that you can't drink, because you can handle not drinking. That's not the issue here. It's not an issue of you need to drink every single day. Like, no, that's not your problem. Never been that. Your problem is the first drop you get, you don't want to stop until to the point where you're literally falling asleep. And that's the problem.
Fiend, dude. It's like, I get the taste and it's like, whoa.
But that's the thing. You need to work on being able to pull yourself back. Because when me and you go out,
I can do it.
You do it. But it's the minute you bring the third party in, whether we bring Bobby in or we bring a friend in, it's done with. And I will say that's the one thing about you that definitely gets to me. There's a few things, but that's the main one, because I don't love how you can go from point A to point B and it's literally a matter of an hour. Like, it's not like when that's coming. We go out at 8 p.m. and by 2 a.m. okay, now you're plastered. It's we go out by 8 and now by 9:30, 10:30 you're pushing it.
It's not even that. It's from 8 till a certain point, it's like completely normal, and then all of a sudden it just drops off a cliff. That's what it really is. It's like a fucking switch flips, and all of a sudden,
but you're not able to recognize that switch, and that's the problem.
It's not there for me.
And the thing is too is like when you get like
it just happens.
If I say something,
well, yeah, of course, in the moment
you get pissy
because I'm into the moment.
But it's not a thing of me saying you. It's not like me coming at you crazy. It's just me saying, hey, for me personally, I know this switch has flipped. I know that you want to work on this. I know it's something that you struggle with. So if I say something to you, it's not.
What we need to do is put some kind of a phrase in place so that it's like a thing, because it's also the way you do it, I feel like, and I can't even really tell you because I'm in that moment and I don't really know what's happening.
But it doesn't matter though, Dyl, because whenever you drink to a certain point, you just get angry. You just do, and it comes to me like you get. It's not like you get angry at anybody else. That's why there needs to be me. Which obviously we're not figuring this out right now. But like that's why we do need to figure out something where it's like we need to do a thing where after every 2 drinks you check in with me and you just say, hey, how do you feel? Like, and just because that's not gonna go over well with me. Or because now I'm gonna feel like I'm on a fucking leash and I ain't doing that either. Or you do things where you just drink 2 an hour. Now that it sounds good in theory. Yeah, but you need to something. I mean, we're going on this trip, and like there's times and places for everything. Oh, like, the trip I'm not worried about. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. I plan on getting shit faced. Everyone plans on getting shit faced. I hope. If not, in those environments, it's completely different. It's safe. And it's fine. Also what I've been realizing lately is it's more so in environments where I'm not 100% comfortable.
and I'm not saying like I'm not comfortable with all, but like when it's a lot of people I don't know, I feel like it's always worse. I'm always worse when there's people in the mix that I don't really know. Like, think of like the last, I don't know how many times, but it's always like sometime where there's people around that I don't really know.
I think it's any time.
It's not, though, because I can pinpoint the last time.
It's any time when you have, yeah, I mean, for sure, but it's also any time where you are with people who are pushing you. You don't know, it's like, you don't know. No, because
we've been out with people who I do push the limit with, and I'm still fine by the end. Like, we're not fighting, we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
But then it's always like, I do think I still have, like, social anxiety to an extent, which I think has gotten better, which actually probably gotten better since I stopped smoking, too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. There's just something about being in like a not 100% comfortable situation for me that's weird.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I get it, but still, it's just something that needs to be still worked on. And
well, I agree. I think that like that's how I view everything. Though is like I don't think there's ever going to be a time where I'm not working on things. Mm-hmm. Like, and that is across the board. Not even like with just this. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Which like to go back to the whole root of this conversation, like how you said. You are content where you are in life. I'm not saying I'm not content, but there's never a time where you said you're not striving to anything else.
Well, I'm always striving to be
better.
There's
never a time that I'm not striving.
But
to
it's not else. Like I'm not striving. Like I'm not longing for more anymore. Like I'm not like when am I going to be happy? When am I going to be satisfied? When is life going to be enough for me? Like I don't feel like that anymore because it was bad. It's to the point where I thought I would never be happy. I would never like. Always be searching for something that's not there, and it's internal. Like it was an internal.
Yeah, that's always internal.
It's an internal thing that I was missing within myself, and I'm thinking like, maybe if I move here, I'll feel it, or maybe if I do this, I'll feel happy. Or so
you're trying to fill an internal thing with external.
Yes, and I don't have that anymore, and it's crazy because I've always had it. Like it's truly like wow, like I think it also comes with age too. It's like. I've experienced things I want to experience. I'm living a life where, like, I'm living a life that people would kill to live. And when you think, I'm like, I'm blessed. I'm lucky.
Even when you were unhappy, though, you were still living a life people would have killed to live.
Yeah, I know, but, like, it's not something that I think about. And
I know
like,
that.
It's something that I took for granted. Like, well, like, I don't do it anymore. Like I'm blessed to have the job I have. I'm blessed to have the financial security that I have. I'm blessed to have a relationship that I'm happy in and that, like I've never felt like with a boyfriend before where it's like, okay, like obviously we bicker, we have arguments, but yeah. I think that's a part of being with somebody. But it's obviously not we like spend
every second together.
I don't know. It's a different type of. It's more of just like a. I don't know. It's like a carefree type relationship. Like you're not stressed.
Us.
Like I don't have any cares. I'm like I don't have to sit here and wonder like what's he doing if he's in the door shut. Is he talking to somebody or? I mean, I have things I worry about with you for sure, but it's.
For real?
I mean, when it comes to drinking and other things, I'm talking about. But that's the only worry where I'm like,
don't know what you're talking
where
about.
I'm truly worried about you.
I don't know.
When you drink and you make bad decisions.
Oh, included with that. I thought you were saying something else altogether.
No, when you drink and you make bad decisions, and it's not has to do with women, it has to do with other things. But that's the one time where I'm actually truly, and that's the one time where I feel in my blood boil. I literally think like,
oh, I'm aware.
It's a breakup. It's a breakup situation. It is for me, and it doesn't last long. But I'm just like, that's the only time where I feel like this is fucking bullshit and I'm not doing this anymore. Fuck this. Fuck him. I'm about to, like, lock him out. He ain't coming home ever. Period. But it goes away. I calm myself down. It's fine. I get it. But, yeah, it's just I'm happy with life. I'm happy. I'm content. I travel. I work. I don't work a lot. I have the luxury of taking months off of work a year. I'm taking a month off in March. I took a month off in November. I'm going to take off December next year. It's like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I don't know
if you're going to make it from April to December. That's a long time.
Well, I could always take 2 weeks off in between.
That's 8 months straight, girl.
But I went a whole year without doing any of that before.
When?
I just started taking time off and went to Arizona.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, I'll be fine. That's fine. And like when I see my money dwindle, I get salty, so I get it. But
I know.
But yeah, so that's what's going on with me this year. And I feel good. I feel happy. I'm feeling good. Got a few trips I want to take next year.
Okay, so what is the thing that you are striving for then in 2023?
Well, always to be better. Fitness goals.
What do you mean though by better?
Like fitness goals. I don't know.
Because this kind of leads into a conversation I wanted to have, which I don't want to have it on air because I don't think it's something you can answer on the spot.
Well, what is it?
This isn't a question I want answered right now. That's how I'm prefacing this. Because I don't think you can give me an answer on the spot. I think that's something you need to think about. Because it's not to do with you, it's to do with me. Oh. So, this is something I'm going to propose to a handful of people over the next week or so. Which I didn't even plan on doing this on air. I was going to tell you off air.
What?
But basically, I want you to think about ways that I could be better as a partner. Like things that would, you know what I mean? Like, and that's why, like, it's not something you can answer
I feel
right
like
now.
You know all of them.
No. Because, like, it's not like overarching things. It's like very, like, actual, not like, hey, you need to be better at this. Like, very practical things like how, yeah, just, that's why it's not like something, because I think it's deeper than, like, even the way that I'm putting it. But, like, how can I show up better for you on the day-to-day basis? Not like big moments. Not like
I don't really think there's much. I mean, there's obviously some.
Exactly why I'm
saying. There's got to be at least one or two things. But
correct.
Honestly, you're pretty good.
And I appreciate that.
The thing is like you're like a sponge.
I'm receptive.
You're like a little sponge. Like I say something to you. I saw this girl on TikTok. This doesn't apply to us, obviously. But she said when you try to break up with him for like a month straight, and every time he brings something up, he's changed. He fixes that problem immediately, never does it again. And I thought of you. I'm just like, obviously not trying to break up, but it's like, it's crazy. It's like I've never met a person that's so receptive and so like, you know, doesn't brush off what I have to say. Because like I feel like I don't like. I'm not like, you need to do this, that, this. But when there's truly an issue at hand, I'm not someone.
Yeah, but the thing is, you hold it until it's very,
I do,
very big. And that's why I'm asking, like, let's get ahead of it. And this is just me in 23 in general. I would like to better myself as an individual. And I know that there are ways I can do that in every facet. So I'm just going to ask people specifically about my relationship with them. How can I show up better in this relationship?
Well, yeah, that's good.
So
I am not asking that because I mean, with you, it's different. But anybody else, I don't give a rat's ass.
Right. Well, I also have relationships like I need to like make sure are good.
Well, I need to mend some too, but that's really just an internal situation for me that I don't want their feedback. I could give a fuck less about their feedback. It's for me to do. But I don't have the same relationships that you have. A lot of my relationships are very much broken. And I feel like they won't be fixed unless I'm the one who reaches out and fixes them. And for the longest time, and that's another thing this year, like I'm really growing as a person. Like I've always had the mentality, well, if you do this for me, you know, if you give me this energy, I'm going to give that same energy to you. And it's for some, if I don't know you at all, then yeah, like, you know, if you are shitty to me, I won't be kind. You know, I'm not like going to sit here and bend over backwards for you, nothing. But family wise, like I've always said, well, you know, you never came and saw me, so I shouldn't have to go see you. And while that is true, it should be 50-50.
It's not realistic.
It's not. And
so if you want a relationship with them, you
exactly.
Gotta take
and I'm realizing
initiative.
Like if I don't want to have guilt and remorse when these people pass away or I'm not able to see them, I need to do it now. And it's not for them, it's for me. And I think that if I got closer to my dad's side of the family, I feel like I would even feel even better about myself. Like my dad and I were not close. My sister and my dad are closer than me and my dad are.
That's weird to me.
My sister is very much a more forgiving person than I am. And she is with everybody. She's very much like, you know, view the good in people, and I'm not that way. And maybe I need to be more that way, but I'm just not. And I've never been that way. And I've always been like, you know, view everybody bad and until you show me the good. And my dad is fucked up, yes. But still, like, she talks to me about, like, how he's goofy and how he cracks her up.
And you just don't
like,
see that side?
No. And, like, my dad, one time I did pop off on him because he was pissing me off. But he took that pop off. And he really hasn't done it since. And he tells my sister, like, I know, Dom, like, I'll never say this to her again and whatever, because she got so mad at me one day. She yelled at me. And it was a long time coming. Like, I'm glad I stuck up for myself, but I wish I would have handled it a bit better and been, like, more constructive with it. rather than just like a full-on emotion coming out. But when you bottle so much in on one person, sometimes it just has to come out, and it's not always the best way.
I think you kind of...
The fact that I let it out is a huge stepping stone, because I've never showed... My dad has never gotten a shitty side from me ever in my life.
That's what I was going to say. I think you've gotten better at it just since moving away, which could have done it, like putting distance between it, but you used to just bottle everything up.
No, and not
until
anymore,
you fucking
though.
exploded.
It's
That's
not happening anymore, because I just feel like if you want relationships to grow, and this is for anybody who's listening, if you have relationships with your mom, your dad, your grandma, your stepmom, stepdad, sisters, whoever, cousins, and you feel like they're doing things that hurt you, or they're doing things and they're saying things to you that are negative, and it's just, they're constantly picking on you for certain things, or they're constantly saying things about you, and it bothers you, you need to stick up for yourself. And it's not a matter of saying like, fuck you. It's just saying like, hey, when you say this, this, and this to me, it hurts my feelings, and I'd like you to not say it anymore.
It's literally just creating boundaries is all
it is. People need to set boundaries. I feel like with our parents and their parents, it's like, I'm your mom, I'm your dad. You need to respect me because I'm your mom. Like, my grandma will still say, like, that's your mom, and you can't talk to her like that, and da-da-da-da-da.
At the end of the day, you're a grown-ass
And at the end
now.
of the day, it's
you're
like,
not a child anymore.
I'm not going to let anybody make me feel bad about myself or things that I'm doing or choices I'm making when I'm not making bad choices and I'm not living a bad life. I'm proud of where I'm at, and if someone has something to say that's negative and it upsets me, you're going to know, like, hey, don't say that to me because it upsets me, and I don't do this to you, so you don't do it to me. And people need to work on that, especially our generation, because we have our parents who are like, you take everything, you just deal with it. You deal with it because it's your mom, it's your dad, you got to respect them. No, if my mom or my dad or my grandma or my grandpa are not respecting me as a person, why do I need to sit here and take their shit? No, I'm not going to be rude, but I am going to say, hey, that's not cool, and I've gotten a lot better at it. Honestly, I've gotten a lot better at it. I'm just like, no, it's not okay to act a certain way towards me. I'm an adult now.
You have a lot more family that tries to interact with you, though. Realistically, I don't have that much family who even tries to interact with me.
People try to interact with me, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, you have a lot more people to even try to balance, like, which I didn't really feel like was the case for a while. But now, like...
It's a lot.
It's a lot more... Like, moving away, my family just kind of... Like,
But
not my immediate family, obviously.
It's crazy, though, because your mom's side is just so absent.
Yeah. Besides Brooke, but she's out here. So.
But it's so absent to the point where it's just your dad and his family, and it's easy to focus because it's less people. For me, though...
No, but I'm saying on that side of the family, who do I speak to regularly?
I mean, yeah, not really anybody, but it's cordial. It's not like you have guilt. You're not feeling heavy. You're not feeling like shit because you don't do this and that. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like you guys are still a unit. And to an extent.
I don't think I'm a part of that unit. I'll tell you that.
No, but I think your dad is. I think your mom is. And I don't know.
Exactly. But what does that have to do with me?
But for me, it's like only family I have like my dad's family is a unit to an extent. I'm not in it. Carlos's family is a unit is a unit. Right. I'm not really in it.
No, and I'm not saying that you are in it, but I don't get guilt even from that. But that's how little they give a fuck. If they didn't speak to me, I don't think that I would hear from anyone outside of my immediate family. And the thing is with you, they reach out and give you shit about it when it's not 100% on you. Like, that's what I mean by, like, you have more people trying to talk shit where I don't even have that.
It's constant, and it's definitely a thing where it weighs you down and it makes you feel like shit. And, like, for the longest time, I would always try to balance everyone. I would try to make everybody happy, and to the point where it would like tear me down and down and down. But not anymore. People who try to guilt me all the time. Like, my dad just did it the other day. My grandma did it when we were at Thanksgiving. Like, people do it all the time to me. But at the end of the day, it's like, I just always think back to like when we were building these foundations and when life was starting. I was the kid. I was a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old who, whether I'm going to my grandma's, only saw her when it came to babysitting or holidays. And, she never really came to my house. It was constantly like, come drop the kids off at me. And like, you come to me, you want to come to me. I haven't seen you come over my house. It's always putting it on me as the kid. And same with my dad's family. It's like, constant, come to Florida, we miss you, come to us, come spend your whole summer, come spend every birthday with us, like, and it guilts you and it makes you feel like,
I think that makes it worse for you too, is that yours aren't all, like, my whole family is basically in the same place.
yeah, and it's tough. It's very tough. And like, I know that like now that I don't go to Florida anymore and like I haven't gone in a really long time, I'm sure there's a little bit of hard feelings there because they did do a lot for me. They did. And I can see that now as an adult, but when you're a 12, 11, between fucking 4 and 12 years old.
But no, you know what? I understand that they might have done a lot for you, but the fact that it was between 4 and 12 and then you stopped going and they never, not one time came to see you is fucked up.
Yeah.
Whether they did a lot for you or not.
And it's my dad too, and that's the thing
because
too.
Because then
like,
you still had to be shipped to them.
I know.
For them to do anything. It's not like nothing was inconvenienced for them at all.
No.
But you had to be inconvenienced, go away from your family and friends for a month at a time.
I know, my mom would be crying. I miss my mom so much. Like, it's tough, but now that I'm an adult and I can see it, it's just like, well, I don't feel bad. Like, my dad was texting me the other day, like, your grandma misses you. She's waiting to see you.
My grandma missed me. Why ain't she contacting me?
And she is demented. I don't think she speaks English anymore. Like, to be quite honest with you, I think she's only can speak Vietnamese at this point. So I don't even think she'd be even able to have a conversation with me much. She would see me and she'd recognize me, but she wouldn't be able to talk to me really. But it's just like, you know, he wanted me to come for Christmas and it was like 2 weeks away and he's like, you said you weren't doing anything. Why can't you come for Christmas? And it's like, bro, it's, you know, it's just,
I'm not doing anything because I work.
And like that makes me feel bad. And like I shouldn't, and I should just be able to brush it off and I'm over it now. But in the moment, it's just like, it makes me feel like shit. And it's just what they do. It's what everyone in my family, besides Carlos's family, they're the only ones who don't guilt. And it's great. It's really great. But I don't know. Definitely let the guilt go. It's not your fault, especially when you were a kid. It wasn't your responsibility to keep up appearances.
It has nothing to do with being a child though. Like, a relationship like that you have with somebody isn't 100% on you. Like, no, if they are the ones who feel some type of way, that's on them. That has nothing to do with you.
I know.
Like, you can only control.
But I'm going to go see them in May.
Right, and that's one thing.
Purely to clear myself of it, because I can say, you know what, I did this, and so if I, you know what I mean, like if I don't see you again.
My thing is like, we live now like where back in the day, like you only had your immediate family and shit. Like now it's like you can't be entertaining all these relationships. Like you gotta choose which ones you're gonna foster and which ones you're not. And like some of them are gonna be surface level, some are gonna be deeper, obviously. But you can't be expected to hold the weight of all these relationships. Like I used to fucking feel like I had to like maintain, especially like because I'm the one who left home. So I feel like I had to maintain these friendships. So like, not saying that I don't have these friendships, but it's like I feel like I was putting so much effort into them. It's like it's all one sided, and so it's not that like those relationships are gone. They're just not what they used to be. And once we're together though, like that's the thing about my people is like it'll just pick back up, and it's like nothing ever changed. But realistically, like when I'm gone, it's like I'll talk to you when I talk to you.
I don't know. Yeah, I get it. I've always been the one who puts the most effort in with any friendship I have with anybody, and it's just something that. And I also feel like for me, since like my dad left when I was really young, and I've never really had like a good relationship with really anybody in my family. Like me and my sister were great, and my mom and I, we've gotten a lot better. We were really, my mom and I were like freaking frat growing up. We had a couple 2 or 3 years there where it was kind of rocky. We're definitely back at it again. I love my mom. She's just like, I'll always love the shit out of her.
It's your mom.
At the end of the day, she was, and you know, no parents are perfect, but she did the best she could. And I have to think about that from like an adult standpoint. You know, I couldn't imagine having kids at her age and like going through what she went through, being a single mom. You know, you do what you have to do to make ends meet and to make, you know, at the end of the day, we were fed, we were clothed, we were taken care of. We knew she loved us, like whatever. But I've never had like a good relationship with my grandma on my dad's side, my grandma on my mom's side, my aunts, my uncles, like my dad, you know, my stepdad and I, like me and him, we did not get along for majority of my childhood. Now, me and him, like I love him. I like feel so close to him, and we don't talk much, but it's like we have that adult relationship, and it's probably the better relationship I have out of like probably anybody. I mean, my sister and I were cool, but like me and Carlos, I just feel like tight as fuck to him. But it's to the point where like I don't have and I never did as a kid, to the point where I feel like I can let anything go and like not talk to, say, like my sister like or my mom. I've gotten better at it, but for a while there I feel like you piss me off, I'll just cut you off, I'll never talk to you again.
There's only a handful of people I couldn't,
and I'm fine with that. And that's because I feel like I'm so socially detached from people. And like even with you, like anybody, I feel like I love people, but I don't feel love the way that most people probably feel love. Like it's very still like.
But that's hard to say when you don't know how other people feel.
I know,
things.
but like I know I don't know. Like
yeah, but you're right. You know yourself, but you don't know anyone else. Like you don't know the way that people.
It just doesn't feel right.
Feel things.
It doesn't feel right, and this can't be what like.
What do you mean it doesn't feel right?
I feel like I love people, but I always have like that waiting for the other shoe to drop feeling. Like I love you until you're gonna, like.
Well, I mean that should be anyone. I don't think you should. I don't really believe that unconditional love exists, because like
I think it does for your children if you have kids. I think
maybe
you'll love them always.
Okay, so what if
even if they do fucked up shit, you still have love for them. No, here's my thing.
What if you have 2 children and one of your kids murders your other kid?
You're still gonna love them.
I don't know. I honestly don't know, because I don't know if I could.
You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be resentful, but you still are going to love your child.
I don't know if I would,
because you have those memories
really
of being a baby and giving birth to them,
and that's fine. But like you can. Just because you have good memories doesn't mean you have to love someone.
For a dog.
No, I don't think that either.
I will.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if like my dad murdered my mom, would I still love my dad? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I think you'll have love for him, but I think you would
have love
more,
for someone isn't.
You would have more anger and hate towards him than love. But I still think
unconditional means no matter what, and I don't think that exists in human form.
I don't know. I think it can. But I think you can hate someone more than you love them. But I think that
then you hate them.
You can have hate for them, or you can be pissed and like resent and angry at them. But I think at the end of the day, I think when it comes to children, I really do think that you will love your kids no matter what they do, even if I still think even if it's a little bit in your heart, there will always be some there. And I don't know. I don't have kids. I don't know. And if I don't have murderous children, I don't really know. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either, because I don't got them either. But I just don't think that I would be able to have a loving relationship after that. But what do you mean it doesn't feel like? So when you say like that you don't feel love the same way as other people, what do you even mean by that?
It's hard to say. It's hard to put into words. I don't know. It's like,
what if you quit that in 2023?
Vaping?
Yeah. That's got to be worse than smoking cigarettes, dude.
Yeah, probably. I could stop vaping.
Like you're sucking on battery acid, basically.
I could stop vaping. I could. I very easily could. I could throw it away and be done with it. I know I could.
No, you couldn't, because you've done it, and then 2 weeks later you're back at the head shop.
Yeah, but being able... I mean, I don't want to quit is the issue. That's the issue here. I don't have any desire to quit. Like,
then why do you say you're quitting? You said you were quitting before and that you're not buying another.
Yeah, but then I do because I cave in. But still.
So in that moment you wanted to quit.
But right, currently at the moment I don't have any desire to quit. And that's...
What benefit does it bring to your life?
Makes me feel good. That's right. I'm drinking. I'm buzzed. So
that's what I'm... But like, does it actually relieve stress? Like, isn't there something...
No, it makes you lightheaded, and it makes you feel like on cloud 9 for like a minute. But when you drink, it's something, I don't know. It's so addicting when I drink, and I'm definitely bringing a vape to fucking Costa Rica because I'm not smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. Can you take vapes on planes though? Oh yeah, they just say not to vape.
Yeah, once you get through the first check-in, you're good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This has been a good podcast, though. I think that people need to work on their relationships to people. Nothing is perfect, and your parents, it's not. Especially, I think a lot of kids struggle with their parents, have issues with their parents, but you don't need to feel guilty about feeling some type of way about your parents, because at the end of the day, they made you feel that way, and they've done things to you.
Everyone feels some type of way about their parents.
For sure.
Because your parents also feel a type of, not like yours specifically, I'm talking in general, because your parent also feels a way about their parents. Like,
yeah.
To an extent,
but I want but the thing is, I think we're
parents.
changing the narrative, because I feel like with us and our generation,
our kids will still feel some way about us.
They will, but our kids aren't going to be afraid to. My kid will never be afraid of me to tell me, "Hey, mom."
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not going to feel some type of way.
No, but
us.
I think we're more mindful of what we're going to be doing, and of course,
because I also feel like I can say whatever to my parents.
No one is perfect. No one's a perfect parent, but I do think we're definitely more in tune with the fact that, hey, it's very easy to fuck your kids up. It's very easy to do things and say these things and not think about it. And I think we're just better, and I think it's only going to get better.
We're better.
We are better. Like, I think it's because mental health has become such a huge thing now.
It's not a stigma anymore. That's what it really comes down to.
It's not like everybody has problems. There's not a single person in this world who doesn't have some sort of mental health issue. Some people are worse than others, but people have been through worse things than others, and majority of the time
it doesn't have to do with what you've been through, though. It has to do with like the way that certain people react to things. Because like I think that the people who go through more, they build up a tolerance to it to a degree, and like so what it takes for them to like fully break down after they get through that shit is going to be worse than like someone who wasn't been through anything.
I think also, though, there's certain things you can go through.
Yes, obviously.
That weigh a lot heavier than
I don't think that
some other things.
Right, but I don't think it comes down to the actual event itself. I think it comes down to like the way people are wired. Like certain people can handle different shit better than others.
Yeah.
Because like people will go through the same thing and one person reacts one way while another person reacts one way.
Yeah,
it's all about finding the ways like
everybody
that you
has
cope
problems,
the best with it.
And we know that, and I think that we're more accepting of it and more understanding. And yeah, like that's the thing about having kids. When you have kids, you are like your parents, you are the person who's building your kid into whether they're going to be confident or not, whether they're going to be, successful or not, whether they're going to make healthy eating choices or not, whether they're going to be, whatever choices they make. Like, you are the foundation of that. Obviously, when your kid gets out of the house and they experiment, things can always go wrong.
That influences from a young age first.
But you are the foundation of everything. Your kids are like sponges. And I know for me, like, there's so many conversations that I've heard that my parents don't think I'm listening, or even I remember when I was really young with my mom and dad, where they think that like we're not paying attention.
Your real dad?
Yeah, like that we're not paying attention and we're not listening because we're kids and we're playing. But there's a few things that like
you pick up on way more than people think.
Your ears are always on as a kid, and yeah, it's like you're talking about this and this in front of your child, and you don't think that it matters, but it does. And like kids, like I don't know, like when they're so young, like they're like literally like listening to everything, learning everything. Like, they're learning how to talk from you. If you're sitting here cussing like a sailor all the time and then you get mad at your kid for doing it, it's like, well, they're learning from you.
I don't even see why that's an issue. Like at some point, it's going to become acceptable.
It is, because I was doing it at school, and it was unacceptable.
But why is it unacceptable? Because the teacher goes home and does it. So like, what is it? Unless like you're saying it maliciously, like you fucking bitch, like. Everyone casually cusses after a certain age. So I don't understand why it's so stigmatized.
I was in kindergarten and called my teacher a bitch.
That's different. You're calling her a bitch. But if,
if
you were like, this shit is hard, you'd still get yelled at. Why does that matter?
I don't know. It's society.
I know. And it doesn't make sense to me because everyone else, if a 19-year-old
my
says
parents didn't really care when I cussed as a kid.
Because like if a 19-year-old says
care in the house,
nobody's questioning it. Like
no.
A 19-year-old says shit or they're pissed off or this fucking sucks or like no one's saying a word.
Yeah.
I don't understand like where the hell
it's crazy that kids like know bad words. Yeah. It's like they can tell from the context of you using the word that it's not a nice word. Like you could talk to a kid and I feel like you don't even have to point out the word that the word fuck is bad. but the way you're using it.
Fuck is an aggressive word.
But the way you're using it.
The f and the k sound.
Yeah, like they just know. They know like I'm pissed aggressive. Or fuck or like little things like that. It's like you don't even have to sit here and say this is a bad word. They can just pick up on the way you're using it that it's not a nice word. And kids are smart, man.
But you also like will say like don't say that word. So I feel like that's where it really comes from.
I feel like even if you didn't say that though.
I don't know about that.
Kids would still know it's not a good word to say because the way you're using it. I don't know. Kids are smart. And that's why I don't want kids right now. And people always, that's a whole nother topic too. People are always like, when are you going to have kids? And
that's another society
I get asked that all the time at work. And it's just like.
That's a society thing. Once you reach a certain age, they just assume
I don't know. I'm
just
next. Like, I don't.
Which is also something that I feel like our generation is slowly beginning to change.
We are. We're waiting to have kids at a later age.
And obviously not everyone.
No, but some of us
but
are.
But a higher majority than
it's not I'm not put on this earth to just conceive.
I think that's what we were put on the earth for, though.
I mean, we are
technically.
We were, but not anymore. I'm more than that. I'm more than just a person who can bear children.
No, you're just a womb.
I'm more than that. And for all I know, I can't even have kids.
Right.
And it's to a point where, like, you know, I'm fine without them. I don't need them. Eventually,
sometimes I'll be thinking maybe I can't have kids.
Maybe
the fact that I've went 29 years and haven't had one yet is kind of crazy.
That's how I feel too. I mean, I haven't gotten pregnant either. I've had some scares, but I've never been pregnant.
Right.
I don't know. I might not be able to have kids.
As far as I know, I've never gotten anyone pregnant. No one's ever said, "Hey, I'm pregnant. It's yours."
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's very crazy because it was a huge fear of mine for a long time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but
maybe 2023 is the year. Knock up a random.
It ain't gonna be me, so it would have to be.
That's why I said a random.
But it could be me.
Whoa, relax.
That's another thing too. I stopped taking birth control, which was a huge thing too. Like I stopped smoking. I stopped birth control. Birth control is the devil. Like it really is. Like it's so unnatural, and it's just if you're on it, I get it. Like people are on it for a reason, and it's fine to be on it. I don't like whatever. I understand the use of it, but for me personally. I was on it for so long, like 10 years religiously. I think it fucks with everyone. It does. Like, it fucks with your whole chemistry in your body. But that's honestly
any type of...
Like, our body is hormones.
Anything you take in, like, you're sacrificing something else for what this thing does for you. Any type of medication,
yeah,
really.
And I mean, everything I said, everything is unnatural. Well, not everything. There's some meds. Like, there's some you can do, like, holistic stuff, and
correct.
It's fine.
But how you holistically use birth
control, no. Like, it's not. It's unnatural. People say it's safe. It's this and that, whatever. I mean, yeah, it's not going to kill you. No.
But it's going to do other shit.
But it makes you feel like shit. Yeah, and it's just hormones. And, like, our body is... We are 100% hormones. Everything in us is a hormone. Like, you have hormones for being hungry. You have different things, like, just so many different things in your body. And putting in unnatural hormones to not have kids, like, it fucked me up. I was on it for so long. Like, I'm finally feeling back to, like, myself, how I was in high school. Like, this goofy. Like, I'll never forget. I talked to this one guy one time. Pre-birth control and pre-weed, and he was like, you're so funny, you're so goofy. And then like maybe 5 or 6 years later we talked again. This was
he called you out for not being
and birth
goofy?
Control, and he told me like, you have changed so much.
You're a fucking bump on a log.
And that I still hold that like close to me, because when he said that I was like, wow,
you're way goofier now than when me and you first got together.
Mm-hmm.
Like a night and day difference.
It's crazy. It's
you were kind of dead inside. Like when you first started coming to my apartment.
I know. It's crazy. I was dead inside. Not anymore.
Which it worked out because I was looking for someone who was dead inside.
No, not anymore though. Like Dylan's always telling me like, you're so you know, he can see the difference, and obviously there's a huge difference. Like I'm 100%. Wait, I mean, you could watch this podcast, I'm sure, and see. Since we went to Phoenix, you can probably see that I've become way more personality. And some days I'm tired. That's from just like working night shift, because that's a fucking
which is why in the new year we're only doing this. We'll gotta prioritize when you're in the mood. We hit it. We can't be having tired ass episodes.
It's hard when I'm
tired.
We're
fucking coming for the podcast.
It's hard when I'm tired. It is. I just don't even want to talk. But no, like we have a new thing coming, new podcast, a rebrand. It's gonna be really nice, really good, and I'm excited for it. And yeah, I'm feeling good. Life is good. I got nothing that I really want to do. I mean, I'm happy with my life. I want to save more money. I want to take a few more trips. I want to go to Hawaii. I would love to go to like Florence, Italy.
Okay, all this ain't happening next year.
No, but I would love to do it. But next year we're going to Puerto Rico. We're going to Costa Rica. We're going to...
We don't know where else yet.
Possibly Disney again. Possibly a cruise. You know, we're doing some stuff, and I want to just keep traveling. That's my goal for 2023. Keep traveling. Keep having fun. But 2024, I want to go out of the country, and I'm talking like be in another culture, not an all-inclusive, not an Americanized trip. I want to go to a place, stay at a local hotel or like a local Airbnb or whatever, and be in the culture, try the food.
I would like to do like Italy or Greece or something
like
that.
Safe, somewhere safe as fuck, and like not a third, like a first world country like us.
Yeah.
But I want to travel, and I want to just see what there is to see. I would love to go to Spain. Love to go to Spain.
Let's learn Spanish. And then shoot for like 2024 or whatever language we're going. Let's like try to learn like some basics.
I mean, I know the basics in Spanish.
And like, yeah, but enough to speak to a local.
I mean, the basics. And how to ask how much this costs.
Yeah, not that. I'm talking like, let's figure out like how to say some things that are actually going to benefit us, like being there.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Wherever we end up.
Because I would love to like take a little mini, like I would love to move to another country for a very short time. Like the shortest time you can stay on a traveler's visit. Like, you know what I mean?
That's probably pretty long.
I think like 6 months.
You would like to go for 6 months?
Mm-hmm. I love it.
I mean, how am I working? How are you working? How are we saving enough money for that?
There's Wi-Fi.
I can only work in certain countries.
Oh, well.
Because of VPNs and shit.
We'd have to look and see where you could go. I could find a job, nursing job easily.
Okay, we'll consider it.
I would love to, though.
I think that's at least 5 years out.
I would love to take like a 6-month trip somewhere and really.
Yeah, I don't think we're
like my friend, her husband's in the military
anytime soon,
and they live like in Italy.
I told you let me rejoin, and you won't do it.
And they just had a baby.
I told you let me rejoin, and you won't do it.
It's so crazy, like to see her life she's living. Like she's been there for years now, and like I don't know. I think that there's just so much out there.
I'll go active duty tomorrow. Sign me up.
No.
2 years. Maybe more.
I mean, where can we go?
I mean, we could stay around here at first.
No, I want to go. If we're doing
you can't immediately go. They're somewhere on deployment if they're in another country.
Yeah.
They're not just...
He's been there for like years. She got pregnant.
Oh, then he's stationed there. But like you
can't... He's been there for years.
You can't just request somewhere and automatically get it.
Well, I don't know. But she's living this little sweet little lavish life. You gotta
work your way up. But I would already come in higher than most people. And I'd get a new job.
Yeah, that'd be fun. In the next 10 years to go take like a 6-month trip into another country.
Yeah, let's look at it that far out, 5 to 10.
Yeah, that's fine. I would just love to do it one day, just to say I did. Like, there's so much out there, more than just America. And
well, obviously,
I just would love to see how other cultures function and to see just other parts of the world. Like, the world is so big. They're so big. I'd love to go to Australia, but I don't fuck with the bugs and the animals in Australia. They are wild. The spiders are wild. But we're going to Costa Rica, and
I was reading though they keep like all that stuff off the resort, so it's only like when we're off of it.
Yeah, but I'd want to.
They said they're very good about bugs and snakes and stuff, keeping it away.
I want to go off the resort.
I think we will at least once. So
go to Freddy's thing.
We've already been talking about like once we get there, figuring out what we want to do and planning it.
Some fun stuff.
But we're coming up on an hour. You got anything else for these peeps?
Not really. I'm kind of hungry, but I don't want to cook.
Yeah. Well, the rice should be done now.
I make 3 meals today.
I have to urinate, so yeah, that's all I got for them. 2023 is here, guys.
Happy New Year again.
Hit me up. Come join our community for coaching. $30 a month. We start January 16th.
Wow. That's so soon.
I know. That's like our first week that we're going to start like doing one-on-one calls. So
that'd be fun.
If you want to be a part, hit me up. We can get on a call beforehand and I'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, if you're struggling with body image issues,
it's really anything. Or
even mental health. Yeah. Like I'm telling you, mental health and physical health compare hand in hand.
That's what we're doing here.
They really do. So if you want to feel better about yourself,
hit me up.
Find an outlet, and which is working out. It's a very healthy outlet, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Working out is fun. And getting stronger is fun. Feeling like you could beat someone's ass is fun.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
I want to set up a fight like Susie.
Okay. Goodbye, guys.
I do. Beat someone up.